Instagram stories for Monday, July 21st. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we're going to be breaking down the questions answered by the head of Instagram on his recent Ask Me Anything. He answers questions like, do people actually click through carousels or should I just make a reel instead? When are we going to be able to see who unfollowed us? And questions about reach after you've posted, like does editing a caption or tagging after posting really impact reach? We'll get to all of these questions and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the questions and answers about reach, and we're going to do one that we've talked about before. Does editing the caption or tagging after posting really impact reach? It's very tempting to, if you make a mistake in a post, maybe you've made a typo in the caption or something similar, you just want to delete the post and start all over to give you a fresh shot at the algorithm. However, it's not really worth doing that. Here's Adam's answer.
No, editing a caption or tagging someone after you post does not meaningfully affect your reach.
Okay, let's do a very similar question. If I post a reel prematurely, quickly delete it, then fix and repost, does this affect the algorithm? Same answer.
No, you should be fine, but know that if it's a problem with the caption, you can always just edit it. And if it's a small problem, you don't really need to do it. I think people are too precious sometimes about what they post, and sometimes little mistakes can be good. They can make your content seem more authentic and real. Now, if it's a big mistake, by all means, delete and repost.
I get where this person is coming from. If you could make your post better, you want it to be the best possible version of whatever it is you're creating. You worked hard on it. If it's going to take you an extra 30 seconds to fix it so that it's right and you can sleep at night, I respect that. And trust me, I am right there with you. All right, let's do another algorithm/reach question. What counts more, likes or comments?
The things that matter most when it comes to ranking overall are likes, sends, and then if it's a video, watch time. Now, that doesn't mean that a comment matters less than a like. A comment's a bigger deal on a per comment basis, but overall, how likable your post is going to do more for your reach than how commentable it is.
That was actually a really good answer. You do want to optimize for content that stops people from scrolling and that they like it and that it's so good they want to share it with someone else. This is the kind of content you should be creating. Let's go on to the next question, which has to do with carousels versus reels. Do people actually click through carousels or should I just make a reel instead? I personally would make a reel, that's just me, but I see the attraction of carousels.
People definitely swipe through carousels. I think you should pick whichever format better aligns with what you're trying to do creatively. For some types of things, video is best. For other types of things, like, a photo dump from a vacation, a carousel works best.
I fundamentally disagree with that. I prefer a reel over a carousel. With a carousel, I have to use my finger and swipe. Oh, all this energy. No. If it's a reel and it's a bunch of photos from your vacation or something similar and it's synced to a beat of a song I like and I can watch it while I'm on the Stairmaster or the treadmill, I don't have to use my hands and it tells a story, I am right there for it. Since we're talking about carousels, let's do another one. Is there an ideal length for carousels? Here's Adam's answer.
Nope, you can make carousels as long or as short as you like. I often end up using all 20 spots because I'm usually doing a photo dump, but sometimes I only do 2 or 3.
Last week on the show, we talked about Instagram starting to test the ability to tell which photo or video in a carousel someone clicked the heart on or double tapped, at what point they liked it. That's the really thing I'm trying to describe here. And I think that information, when we know it, we're starting to use it in our regular posting schedule, will help us to figure out how many slides we actually should be using. I think that data long-term will help us to make better decisions. All right, let's do the last algorithm/reach question. How many times should I post per week? Here's Adam's answer.
Unfortunately, there's not one silver bullet answer to this question. Generally speaking, I try to post a couple times a week because you want to remind people that you exist, you want to iterate on your creative, you want to get better over time. But I've seen people be really successful posting only once a month, and I've been seeing people be very successful posting 5 times a day. It's just about what you can sustain and what aligns with your goals for the platform.
I always think it's important to find the line of being able to post fun and interesting content regularly that people like and that you're proud to post, but not doing it so often and holding yourself to an incredible content calendar where you are going to burn out. It's very hard to find that line. And Instagram, of course, wants you to post more and engage more, but it's in your best interest not to burn out. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Instagram giving the ability to see who unfollowed you and some feature suggestions, including being able to pin comments on posts and saving to folders a little bit more easily. Stick around. Welcome back. We're continuing with questions and answers from the head of Instagram, and now we're getting into the product features and suggestions portion of the episode. Someone asked, when are we going to be able to see who unfollowed us? Instagram is doing everything but that. Good question. Historically, Instagram has never shown you who unfollowed you, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be rolling that out anytime soon.
We don't show you everyone who's unfollowed you because we want people to be comfortable unfollowing other people. I think it's good for people to be comfortable editing their graphs down on occasion. Now, you can always figure it out if you go to their profile and you can see if there's a follow back button there or not. But we're not looking to make that easy just to pull a list of people who you might be upset with.
Okay, let's move on to the next feature suggestion. Why can't we pin our own comments to our own posts? This is actually a good point. You might want to pin your comment that has some detail about whatever you put in the caption. Maybe there wasn't enough room. Maybe you want to draw attention to some other aspect of the content that you posted. Maybe you're putting in a coupon code or whatever creative idea you have. It does make sense that you can pin other people's comments. Maybe someone makes an encouraging comment or they are a person with a lot of clout, so you want to pin that comment. Totally makes sense. But why can't you pin your own comment? Here's Adam's answer.
That's actually a pretty good point. I hadn't realized that you cannot pin your own comments. I'll talk to the team about that. Thanks.
Hopefully he added that to the backlog and wrote up some acceptance criteria for that feature. And the last question we're going to talk about today, can you make it easier to save posts to folders? If you're not familiar, you can save Instagram posts, which is really helpful if you see something that you like and you want to go back to it later. However, you can also organize those posts you've saved into various folders, similar to how you could pin things on Pinterest. You could make collections of different posts that you might find interesting. For instance, places that you want to go to on an upcoming vacation, or content that you've seen online that you want to make your own version of, or any other variety of things that you would put into some kind of collection in a folder. So the question is, can you make it easier to save posts directly to those folders? Interestingly, it is already easier than you might think.
So if by folders you mean collections, you can actually long press the save icon when you see a post and it'll show you all your collections and you can save it straight to that collection. So really easy to just do it inline. Check it out.
I actually did not know that that feature existed, but now I will be using it more. That is going to do it for today's episode. If you appreciate this kind of content, I have an email newsletter which recaps the past few episodes of the show and gives you links directly to the episodes. If you would like to sign up for my email newsletter, you can do that directly using the link in the show notes, or you can go to my Instagram profile at Daniel Hill Media and you can get to the link from there. As always, thank you for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that you need to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. And other fractions posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency. But I got a lot of spam, just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.